Hello, we're making hummus today. It's a basic hummus recipe that you can edit by adding some other things at the end. But you'll want to start with 2 cans of chickpeas, also referred to as garbanzo beans. You're going to use about 2 to 3 tablespoons of tahini, which is ground sesames. I'm making mine with a flavor of garlic. So I've got about 5 garlic cloves. You're going to need the juice and the zest of 1 lemon and about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And then to taste, we're going to add salt. The other thing that you really need to have is a very good, very powerful blender or food processor. So my food processor allows me to make this almost cloud-like when I do it. So I'm going to start adding in ingredients and show you my whole process. All right, I think we're ready to get started now. Whenever you're using a blender, or even in your food processor, but especially in a blender, you want to make sure that you have liquids at the bottom. So I'm going to put about half of the lemon juice out of my lemon in here. I'm going to reserve the rest for later. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of olive oil. And I have strained the chickpeas so that I have reserved the liquid. So I'm going to put the chickpeas in now. It's 2 cans of chickpeas. And as I said, we reserved the liquid. So I'm going to add a little bit of the liquid right now so it goes to the bottom. You can see how that came up. And we will add more if we need it. You can certainly just add water if you'd like, but that will make it a little bit more bland. I like to keep the flavor of the chickpeas as much as possible. We're going to reserve our zest for the end. We're going to put in our garlic. Notice I didn't have to chop that. The blender will take care of it in my case. And then lastly, I'm going to add the sesame tahini. This separates. It's a natural occurrence. So all you need to do is stir. I'm going to do about a tablespoon here to start, and a little bit more. It's a very thick paste. You can see it's almost like molasses in January. So I'm going to use my finger to get some of that out. All right, and this is actually what gives hummus a very distinct nutty flavor. So now that we have all of our ingredients, less the salt, which we're going to add at the end, I'm going to turn on my blender and we're going to process this until it's super smooth. Keeping an eye on the liquid level, I may add some more liquid. So here we go. So you can see it'll start to process, and then it may get to a point where it kind of looks like it's not moving anymore, and that would be because it needs a little bit more liquid. Now I'm going to increase the speed. There it is. See, it stopped. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid. I turned it off. I'm going to add a little bit more liquid. And I won't use all of the liquid from the chickpeas, but I hold on to all of it just to be safe. So let's get that started. We're going to use a spatula to move that around just a little bit and get the liquid to the bottom. Because that's what's happened right now, is that there's too many solids and it's not able to actually get any torque. All right, so here we go. All right, I'm going to mix that up just a little bit more. And I can feel it, it's really thick. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of the liquid from our chickpeas. still have a lot left, as you can see. I'm going to cover that up. All right, this is really thick. So I'm going to just check and make sure everything's got room to move. There we go. Put our lid back on. Add a little bit more liquid. You see that burp? That's why you got to make sure everything has got a lid on it. Here we go. So we're going to process this until it's really buttery smooth, almost cloud-like. And then we're going to adjust our seasonings. We may need to add a little bit more tahini. We will definitely add salt, and we may have to add a little bit more olive oil. Okay, so we put some carrots and cucumbers, red peppers, tomatoes, and some pita bread. You can use tortilla chips if you'd like, or any other kind of chips. And we're just going to put our hummus for an individual serving here. So you can dip to your heart's content in your own individual dipper. Add a few more tomatoes here. We'll put a little bit of zest on there, and a little drizzle of olive oil. And there you have it. This is hummus. This happens to be a garlic hummus with accents of lemon, and served with pita chips, red peppers, cucumber, and carrots. And let me tell you, that's delicious.